So I just got the chance to see the new Ghostbusters film, Ghostbusters Afterlife. I was pretty excited for the film, but wasn't really expecting that much. The trailers didn't really wow me, but I liked the cast and the director. So, what I think about it? Well, let's talk about it.
Your father wasn't much of a homemaker. He could hardly keep the power on.
You're saying he left us nothing?
Well, I wouldn't say nothing.
So what I think of Ghostbusters Afterlife. First off, I am a pretty big fan of the first Ghostbusters film. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time. I truly adore that film. The second one is not as good. I feel like it gets more crap than it actually deserves, though. I do think there's some good elements in the film. I like seeing the recast together again. There is way too many repeats, and it feels way too much like a carbon copy of the first film. And I haven't seen the 2016 Ghostbusters. Why? Because I generally thought it looked really, really bad. So, where does that leave Ghostbusters Afterlife? The proper Ghostbusters 3? Question mark? Since my expectations were pretty much below, I wasn't like ecstatic about the film, but I went to go see it because I'm a big fan of Ghostbusters, and I gotta say, the film blew my expectations out of the water. I truly enjoyed pretty much every single frame of this film. This film is just a fun film that's made out of love. I think that's what makes Ghostbusters Afterlife really as good as it is. It has good performances, really well done directed sequences, really good writing, good jokes, and every single frame feels like it's made out of love. At least for me anyway, the film didn't feel like a cash grab. It didn't feel like people got together and be like, oh, it's been long enough since we made a Ghostbusters film. Let's bring back the old cast. Let's bring back a new young cast. Let's make some money, not just from the old fans, but let's make money from new fans because we got some popular names in here. Movie that somebody's like, you know what, I think I got a good story here. Let's bring back the old cast. Let's bring some new blood into this, and let's make a really fun Ghostbusters film. It doesn't really follow the formula that the first, second, and I don't know if the 2016 Ghostbusters did, because the film takes quite a long time before we actually get our first ghost busting sequence. And for some, that's gonna be boring. That's really all they wanted to see. And if you just go to a Ghostbusters film for some cool ghost and good visuals, they're in there, but this is definitely much more of a character study and a bit more of a drama. Don't worry, this is definitely a comedy. They're not reshaping the Ghostbusters genre or anything or what tone it has. It's definitely a comedy, and there's some really great jokes in there, but this is really about a family learning to get along with pretty terrible circumstances, and I think the film does a really good job with that. Something that surprised me is how really good, well directed, and really well written the film is. Jason Hartman did a fantastic job directing these sequences. They're fast, they're energetic, they have energy, and they have tons and tons of styles. The actual ghost busting sequences are really entertaining, really funny, really energetic, but also the dramatic sequences he did a really good job well as here. The script is really, really solid. I felt there were some moments that could have been maybe tightened, or some moments that could have been massaged a bit more, but overall the script is really solid here. The performances from the returning cast, which it's great to see them there back as these iconic characters, and the new cast is really, really solid here, focused on the kids, especially the little girl, which I thought she was really great. She's really funny and smart, and sometimes she's too smart, so that's kind of what's funny. You could watch this little girl outsmart, you know, adults, and that's really funny, and she was a really good character here, and was not just good in the funny sequences, but also good in the dramatic sequences. Paul Rudd is also really good. Finn Wolfhard's also really good. The cast is really solid here. The visual effects and also practical effects are here, and I did not know they would do practical effects, because now we're in the day of everything is digital and everything is CGI. Practical effects have become kind of a dinosaur and kind of extinct, but there's some actual really good practical creatures here, which I was really surprised to see. The Stay Puft sequence with the little Stay Puffs in the trailers was like, okay, that's kind of weird, and it is a bit weird and a bit too cutesy, but I did enjoy the moment where they just start roasting each other and killing each other in pretty fun and pretty despicable, violent ways. That was pretty fun. Put a good twist on the whole, oh, it's cute thing, which I really enjoyed. The pacing's really nice. The film is quite long, at least for a Ghostbusters film, but it went on a pretty brisk pace, and I thought this film was really solid. The nostalgic moments, me pretty much growing up watching Ghostbusters, hit really well, but also you don't need to see the previous Ghostbusters film to watch it. There's enough new and original stuff to keep a newcomer engaged, and I think that's what the best films should do, is give enough for old fans to latch onto, but also give stuff for new fans to latch onto, and I think that's why this film was much more well received than the 2016 Ghostbusters film was. Because again, I haven't seen it, but that film just kind of felt like a cash grab. This film didn't for me. I do have some gripes with the film. Why I really did enjoy the finale, I don't think it was built up as well as I think it was in the original. In the original, there was this mystery, and why there was mystery here, the finale kind of just felt like, now we gotta have a finale, and it was a bit weird. It felt like a bit clumsily shoehorned, and I still really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a lot of fun, but it was just a bit shoehorned. And some jokes didn't really hit for me, but as most comedies, not every single joke is gonna land. And why I really did love seeing the new old returning cast as Ghostbusters again, the way they kind of came in just felt really weird. There was a moment of dialogue, a bit of a music cue, but then they're in. There's not like this big introductory or anything. It's just kind of like they're there, and I really enjoyed seeing them. And after I got past that the introductory was a bit weird, I did still really enjoy. Overall, Ghostbusters Afterlife was a ton of fun. It has enough for old fans to remember. Oh yeah, I remember that. But enough for new fans to be like, I don't know what this is yet, but I really like it. Ghostbusters Afterlife just put a massive smile on my face, and it is one of my favorite films of the year, and I'll give Ghostbusters Afterlife an A-. So those are my thoughts on Ghostbusters Afterlife. What do you guys think of this film? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.